I am not a health professional. I have not studied any of the science of this. I am not someone who can, you know, be giving out like I'm just the person. Like, I'm just going off of experience of when I've lost weight in the past and what I've done to do that. Purely experience.
Every time I look into your eyes, I see it. You're all I need.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you guys about how I transformed my body in a month, 4 weeks, I'm telling you. So pretty much starting in high school, I began to really care about being active. I would just do, it was very high level. It was stuff like going to a yoga class and then maybe doing some of the machines afterward, just stuff like that, really doing the cardio machines mainly. And that's when I was just like, oh, I mean, I've got nothing much else to do, so I might as well be working out, and I don't want to gain weight because I've always loved food since I was a kid. So you know how it is. And from there it just started to grow. I started to be more interested in learning how to like use the free weights and doing squats or using the dumbbells, stuff like that, moving away from the machines. And after that, pretty much I was really dedicated to really being in shape and really feeling like my best self. And so my freshman year of college, I would just set these little goals for myself. So my first goal was like, oh, I want to get a tattoo, and I do have a tattoo. And I was like, you know what? I really want it here, but I can't get it if I have these rolls. So obviously I need to, you know, lose weight. And so that was like one of my first goals. My second one was I really want to get my belly button pierced. So I have to get down to this certain weight, and then I will allow myself to get my belly button pierced. And honestly, that's what, out of all the times that I've tried dieting or just like really shaping my body into a certain way, those have always been the most successful times when I have a goal and I'm really working towards that. It's kind of hard, I think, to be like, I just want to be healthier. I mean, because it's like, when you're dieting, when people have this idea of dieting, it's like, oh, I can't eat pizza, I can't eat this, but that's not a realistic way of living life, in my opinion, as somebody who does love food. And, you know, when I meet up with friends, it's like, let's go grab a coffee, let's go grab, you know, things that actually have calories and stuff. So I think it's all about like making sure that you have that balance. But so the main story, as you've probably by now seen my transformation picture, I did that transformation while I was in college. I was on a work rotation, so I was working for that semester instead of going to school, and I was really motivated to be a bikini competitor. I wanted to do bikini competitions, and that's pretty much when you do all of this training and you really get down to like a very low body fat and you're building up your muscles. And I really loved it because the females were muscular, but you could still see that they were they had like feminine shapes. I don't want to say that, but they still had curves, you know. It wasn't like a physique where people were like standing straight up and very muscular. So that was my goal, that was my motivation. But before I actually got into the prep and like signed up for a show, I was like, I need to go from the first picture you saw, I need to get down to a place where I feel like is a good starting point, where it's not just going to be so overwhelming, like going from the first picture to what you might see a bikini competitor looking like. So that's what really sparked me and was my motivation during the whole transformation. So the changes that I made, pretty much, we had a gym right next to us. So luckily, you know, a lot of the co-ops there was a small town, so we were a lot into working out and eating as well, but mainly just working out. So it would kind of be like a fun gathering for us, like, oh, we have nothing else to do, let's go to the gym. What I changed about what I was doing before is number one, I meal prepped. So I made all of my meals. I ended up cooking like twice a week, like on a Sunday and then maybe on like a Wednesday or Thursday. and I would make all of my lunches and dinners for the week. I would cook breakfast every day fresh. What my diet kind of looked like was I would always have a protein, a carb, and then a vegetable. So what I made a lot of the times for lunch was like lean steak, broccoli, and then a baked potato. So I would literally just have a plain baked potato. I would cut it and I would use, I can't believe it's not butter, and then some seasoning, like nature seasoning, pepper or salt, whatever you want to put on it. And you can even put like low fat sour cream if you want. But just, so that was my lunch, and then I'd go home for dinner and have like grilled chicken, quinoa or couscous, and then spinach. And for breakfast, I would usually alternate. Sometimes I would have like a fried egg and oatmeal, or I would have a English muffin with, I can't believe it's not butter, and sugar-free jam. Which, side note, I know that this all sounds like, wow, like you can't even use real butter, you can't even whatever. Like, you can totally do that. Everything's about, you know, moderation. You know, you're not gonna slather it in butter, but if you're like, I don't want to use artificial butter or margarine, then use it, you know. Especially if you're trying to do a lifestyle. Now, if you're honestly like, oh, I want to do bikini competitions, or I'm going to Miami, then, you know, you can sacrifice those things and be like, okay, just for now, we're going to use sugar-free jam, and I can't believe it's not butter, because you will, you know, I mean, the little things do add up, so you will be able to probably shed pounds a little quicker, or maybe a little easier, if you do cut back on those little things, but that's just a side note. So I would have an English muffin with the jam and the butter and an egg, or I would have like a piece of ham. So just stuff like that. That's mainly what my diet was. For snacks, I would have either like protein shakes or protein bars or apples, or fruit just in general, yogurt. What else? I think that was mainly it. Oh, and then I would always have my coffee once a day with sugar-free creamer. They also have fat-free creamer, but I mean, whatever. So, as far as exercising, I was exercising like literally, okay, so out of a 7-day week, so Sunday through Saturday, I would work out like 5 days for sure, sometimes 6. But keep in mind, it just became a habit. You know, at first, obviously, you have those days where you're like, I just worked a whole day of work, I don't want to go to the gym. But I will tell you, if you honestly push yourself for that first at least week, 7 days, and you're going every day, or at least you're like, okay, out of the 5 days, I can for sure go 3 to 4 days. If you really just challenge yourself, yeah, you don't want to do it, but just do it anyway, it does become a habit, and then by that point, you're starting to actually see results. I'll tell you, within the first week of just eating clean or not eating processed foods with a lot of oil and fats, like, you know, eating pizzas and burgers every day, which I know, like, there were times in my life where I would be eating out every day, you know, and so you bloat. And so even just eating clean for that first week, you start to see just the water weight going down. And I always, when I make a conscious effort to eat clean for even just a week, I always go down at least 3 to 5 pounds. And so adding on the workouts with the diet, the first week I went down, I can't even remember how much, but you can see those, I can show the pictures. I took a picture once every week. Once a day, because I would always be looking in the mirror like every morning, like, is there a change today? And then I would be like, okay, like this is getting like too much, like I'm just gonna do it once a week. And I would be really excited to see that once a week, because you see yourself in the mirror, but it's not until you actually have that first picture next to that like second week or third week picture that you're like, what? Like, wow, I really did change. But so yeah, once you go to the gym for that first week and really push yourself, you start to see those results and you get addicted. You're just like, wow, I'm literally sculpting my body. Like, if I'm looking at myself now and I'm like, oh, I don't like this, but I don't like this. If I go to the gym and I'm working on those areas of my body and I'm really just making myself healthier and really just working towards a goal, you really do start to see yourself slim down, or you start to see your muscles building and you're like, wow, like this is really working. I mean, especially if you're results driven, you know, eventually you're just like, well, I see if I keep doing this, I will be at my goal in like a month. And so that's really what motivated me. Plus, like I said, a lot of the co-ops, we would be like, hey, you going to the gym tonight? Yeah, oh, I'll see you. So it was like all of our friends are there. We were working out. Sometimes we would work out together. So that was a lot of the motivation. I will say, just to keep your sanity, Gene would visit me every weekend. My boyfriend, either I would come up to Akron or he would come down to where I was. And we would have a cheat meal because he was eating clean as well. And we would go to like Cheddar's, or we would go to a restaurant that we really liked, and we allowed ourselves that. And I was still able to do that transformation. Sometimes we would get dinner one day and on Saturday night, and then get breakfast at Bob Evans or something on Sunday. And it wasn't like we were going there getting like toast and eggs. We were literally like, can I get the pancakes? Can I get the loaded hash browns? You know, like we were really eating well. So even with that, like you can allow yourself those cheat meals or even cheat days. I don't recommend cheat days only because I do them so much. Like I'm actually doing a cut right now. I'm trying to get down to a lower body fat, and I just in my mind I'm always like, girl, like treat yourself. And then it happens every day, and then it's like, okay, well, you're not on a diet. But I do notice, like, even if I'm down like 3 pounds throughout the week, when I do have a whole weekend of like going drinking and eating what I want, I usually gain those 3 back plus 1 or 2 pounds. So I would always recommend just maybe a cheat meal, or, you know, getting something that you do enjoy, but just making it a little healthier than what you might usually get, like not the extra cheese or not whatever. But so yeah, we did have cheat meals, and I was still able to do that transformation. Another note, as you can see, there are 3 pictures, and so one is like week 1, I think the other one's week 3, and then the last one was week 4. And that's literally, I'm not even kidding, this is honestly like the transformation that I had in 4 weeks, and it only got better as I kept, you know, eating healthy and making it a goal to work out. But I will say that I can't sit here and be like, I lost 15 pounds, because for whatever reason, this is just how my body was. I was not losing weight. Like I lost that first week or 2, I lost probably like 6 or 7 pounds. And then I was lifting so heavy, I think, like I wasn't just doing cardio. Actually, I would do cardio, but not even as much as I'm doing it now. But I was really trying to just gain muscle. So I was doing very heavy lifts, and I guess I was just gaining muscle at about the same rate that I was losing weight. So I really did maintain within the same like weight up or plus or minus like 2 pounds throughout the whole time that I was like dieting or doing this cut. I don't even know what to call it, guys. It was, I don't know, it was, like I said, it was like a preparation for the preparation for bikini competition. So yeah, so I was the same weight throughout the whole thing, which was kind of discouraging, and that's really why I made sure that I took pictures every week, because even though I saw the transformation that you also see in those pictures, it's like the scale wasn't moving, and it was driving me crazy. So I really did need those pictures to kind of motivate me and kind of make it like, okay, I really am doing something, I'm not just wasting my time. So don't even like, I mean, I would recommend getting a scale. It just depends. Like if you really are doing heavy lifts, and especially when you, for like probably that first month, you're going to notice the first week or 2, you're going to be losing a lot of that water weight. You're going to be slimming down pretty fast because you're not bloating as much if you are eating healthier. And then you might notice that you start to plateau, and maybe that's because you usually don't have, like, you're usually not working out, so you're building a lot of muscle that you haven't had before. I'm not a health professional, I'm not a physician or whatever, I'm not a personal trainer, so just gonna start out with that. But yeah, so just also, I did announce that I wanted to do bikini competitions, and I'm gonna make a whole video on this, and I still might, but the reason, pretty much in short, why I decided to not follow through with doing the bikini competitions is because I will say I was counting my macros. Like, I was saying, I'm gonna have this many carbs, I'm gonna have this much fat, and I'm gonna have this much protein in a day. I was using my fitness pal and everything to track it, and it became obsessive for me. And I think it was because I was seeing a lot of pictures of people like, this is what I do, and just really wanting to get to this certain look. And I was just trying so hard to the point where it got obsessive. So that's just me, and I was doing more research where people were like, you know, I feel like I really developed an eating disorder from prepping, and that just depends on different people. It depends on how obsessive your personality can be, I guess. That sounds crazy. That sounded crazy, but I don't know. I tend to like, I feel like in some ways I am sometimes a perfectionist. And I'm like, I really want to get to this goal and I want to get there fast. I'm getting anxious about it, but I'm not also living my life. So that's why I decided not to. But I mean, you can't deny like the results that I was seeing. So for me personally, that's why I was like, you know, I'm okay with just looking good and feeling good for myself. I don't really have to get on a stage for it. Yeah, that is pretty much how I transform my body. Thanks for watching this video. Please like, subscribe, share this video, and I will see you guys next time.